So did you hear who's in the news again today?
Again?
Did
you hear who's in the news again?
Our buddy,
for different reasons.
Yeah.
Different reasons this time.
It is different reasons, but I mean, it seems to be ever since this whole thing with his special, and now it's kind of, I don't know what went on with this. I know he got tackled during the show.
So Dave Chappelle been in the news again.
Yeah.
This time, again, he was at LA's Hollywood Bowl.
What is that?
Could I tell you? No, I've never been there. I would like to because it's in LA, but
some kind of
Hollywood Bowl. Yeah, LA's Hollywood Bowl, so it's chic. It's gonna be fancy.
Yeah.
But he was hosting on stage, and some gentleman rushed the stage and tried to attack him.
Yes.
Tackled him in the process. Obviously, nobody was injured, but the jerk that ran on stage, obviously.
Yeah, I saw the video, man. Afterwards, he got
annihilated.
What he deserved.
He got what he deserved. Again, granted, the whole Will Smith debacle, what has that caused? It has had a chain reaction now,
because
targeting comedians.
Because, see, and that's what I don't like, because when they're targeting comedians, and it feels like they're targeting directly on free speech. Because that's what a comedian does. They tell jokes,
yes.
They take observations, they point the obvious out, and they make light of every situation, even dark situations. And people are like, well, they shouldn't talk about this. Well, guess what? If they can't talk about what they want to talk about, then that means they're being censored. And if you don't like what they're talking about, then don't watch them.
Yeah.
I'm saying? Don't go to their shows. Don't support them instead of just jumping in on these conversations and saying things.
Granted, if anybody has ever been to a comedy club or something
awesome.
like that, they're great, but you have to know that they're gonna pick on you if they see you, they see something about you, but that's their job. That's what they do.
Do your research to see what kind of comedian it is.
And usually, and I'm not saying every comedian does it. But
No.
I've been to a couple, and they seem to pick on the ones they see in the front very early, and just to like comedy, just to get the things going.
Yeah, get it going, and get everybody warmed up, and that's exactly what they do.
And this whole Will Smith incident kind of threw a wrench in that, I believe. I mean, back when the incident happened, I was almost on the side of Will Smith, saying, you know what, he stood up for his wife at that time, but as everything has come out and getting revealed about, she didn't care that much, she didn't want him to do that, all this coming out, I kind of switched to flip a little bit, I'm just like, maybe, that was immature. Why do that on such a big stage?
And
why
he didn't even have to do that
about it?
Yeah.
You didn't have to go as far as you did.
You could have given him the backstage later, that type, you know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Talk about it during commercial break.
Just to be professional about it.
Now we're seeing the tidal wave that is produced, because again, Dave Chappelle was attacked. If you didn't read it, TMZ's got a video out on it. I mean, the man, I have his name here. I'm not going to say it anyway, but, he had a weapon on him. Granted, he had a gun that looked like a pocket knife was rigged at the tip of it. So it was almost like... but
it wasn't a real gun, right?
It wasn't a real gun. As the proof and the pictures come out, they're saying it wasn't a real gun, but it did have a real knife attached to it.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Like a spear gun that you can use to stab at people. Again, it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. It's still very dangerous.
Yeah,
and you're
it's
attacking
dangerous.
Somebody with this on you, so you never know what can happen.
And, what did he... why did he go on stage in the first place? And no one really knows why.
Nobody really knows right now. I've read a couple of them. They go down to the specifics of who it was, when did it happen, what he was carrying. They do have pictures of him afterwards getting stretchered to the ambulance.
Yes.
And let me tell you, he did get what he deserved, but the pictures were
look him up.
Yeah, you can look it up.
Look it up.
Got it on plenty of websites, but. Again, I heard Jamie Foxx was there helping out. He helped tackle the guy. I heard Busta Rhymes was there. He didn't help tackle the guy, but I heard he helped stop the guy.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Busta's a big dude.
There was a couple other people there, but yeah, as as the camera had turned, you just saw a mob of guys, and one guy looked like he was getting the blunt of it, and damn it if he didn't.
So let me ask you this question then. All right, so that guy who was a complete stranger at a show tackled a famous comedian. Now let's go back to the Oscars. You think if they did that to Will Smith, would that have been right? You see what I'm saying?
Ooh, see, but
it's the same type of thing, right? The same thing happened.
But you're gonna get leniency because you're a huge actor like Will Smith,
and you're at the Academy Awards.
Yeah, I mean, shit. If bouncers would have tackled Will at that point, man.
So, with that being said, and you're right. With that being said, then Will should never have did that.
No, 100%. Looking back on it, it's too,
they had class not to beat him up.
It's too big of a platform for you to do something that deviant when nobody knows. It's almost like a sucker punch.
It was, and I think getting slapped is a lot more
degrading
than it is getting punched in the face. You know what I mean? But Chris Rock took it like a man.
He did.
So did Dave. Dave got back up, so they're cracking jokes.
Yep, he did. And it was even shown on the TMZ video. Chris Rock had got up on stage.
Yes.
And goes, "Hey man, was that Will Smith?"
That was the best. That was the best.
So I mean, you get some lightness out of it, but again, let's not, downplay the severity of it. He did have a deadly weapon on him. Yeah. He was charged with assault.
And I think what it was, because the guy came on stage and he tackled him.
No, well, what had happened? He ran on stage, and as Dave Chappelle actually said, that he wasn't. He wasn't stable enough because he had started slipping as he was getting closer to Chappelle, and they had both fell together. But if you see the video, he gets up on stage, and then as soon as he starts running towards him, he starts to almost fall himself, lose his footing, and almost go down. But again, horrible situation. I don't believe anybody should be attacking anybody. And like I said, the show had just opened. Yeah. Like, you got to believe it was perpetuated. He was targeted.
I think this is premeditated. I think 100% this guy was going in there, and for what? Maybe to actually really hurt him, or to get, on TV. I mean, he succeeded.
If he succeeded, if he did that to only get on TV, that ass whooping he took, I don't believe is worth it.
Yeah, no.
If you guys are online and you see anything, the pictures are brutal because his right arm is definitely not in the same place it should be.
No, it was all twisted like this.
It was the wrong way. It was just definitely the wrong way, and you see the bruises on his face. So that man did take a couple of good shots.
Yeah. And, but see now this it makes me start thinking that like you said earlier, is this going to start becoming commonplace? Is this going to be things where it's going to happen to comedians more often? Because I was watching a video and I don't remember when it was. It was a while ago, and another comedian got attacked on stage.
It's been happening, yeah. It happened numerous times.
And it's sometimes people can't take jokes and they go to these things and they get all liquored up and they get pissed. So that's on the individual of being, if you can't handle your stuff, don't go. But on the other side, if it's these people are going to start going to these shows to prevent comedians from doing their jobs or from making jokes about something they don't like, that's going to become an issue. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's exactly what we said before. It's you go there and they have a free-for-all. They're free speech. That's why you go there, to see them twist the speech up, and that's what makes it funny for everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if any of you remember, but great point. Def Comedy Jam back when we were young. It was fantastic. And you knew when Martin got up there, if you were wearing anything crazy, he was going to laugh. He was going to make fun of you. But it was but it was all fun. That's what I'm saying.
And people who went to go see that,
they knew it. They knew it.
Even
and the problem was, at Def Comedy Jam was so huge back then, and rappers, actors, up in the balcony, because you could see it. They would show who was in the crowd. And I remember, I believe it was MC Light was in the crowd one time, and he made fun of her as well. But they know that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
you go in there knowing already. This is going to be hilarious, but at the same time, they might joke on you, and you just got to take it and walk.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Let's flip it a little bit. Who's the guy from Seinfeld? The guy that went nuts, and then he was on stage and people booed him, and then he started.
Talking about Kramer?
Yes. He started attacking
What's his name again?
I don't remember, but everybody knows if you've seen.
Yes,
Seinfeld.
Michael.
Yeah, but I think again, this is a situation where it was reversed, where he was on stage and the people started booing and heckling him, and he got a little rowdy and started screaming and cursing, and then slang, prejudice thrown out, and he got in trouble.
But again, he's putting a show on, and people are in the crowd, and there's always hecklers, especially at these things.
You gotta know.
They love to interrupt the comedian. They love to say things because they're getting their few moments in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? But even though it's a negative way, they're doing it. And that's always been an issue that they've had to deal with. But now with getting physical, getting on stage. First of all, I don't even know how he made it that far up on stage.
Again, and that's what I wanted to bring up. How do you even get as close as he did and even have a weapon on you? Is this LA Bowl? Do they not check you at the door?
That's one thing. Check at the door.
Just enough that even though the gun again was not real, as the police report says, the gun was not real. He still got inside.
But it was metal, right? It was metal at least, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a prop gun, and if anybody's been on a scene or anything, prop gun is pretty real. It's just not a real gun.
Yeah, exactly.
So he still got into or near this celebrity Chappelle with that on him. So
I wonder where his seat was.
Are they having no checks at the door? Is something you could just walk in off the street?
Yeah, and I would think the security would be a little tighter than that.
A little bit tighter,
but. I mean, I wonder where he was sitting. Was he sitting way in the back?
Looked like he was right up front.
And he just started walking
like he
and no one
jumped
stopped him?
from the Chappelle's right, our left from the camera. It looked like he just jumped right up on stage.
Yeah, you can see him jump on stage.
He just jumped right up on stage. Again, we get the video footage from a cell phone, so nobody knows if he was running down the whole aisle, pushing people aside as he got there. Yeah, and I don't think he would have done that because you would have saw him by then. Somebody would have.
I think he would have been stopped.
Hey, what's going on? This guy's trampling people. So again, I think he had to be close.
Yeah, probably that, or he got up and realized I'm going to make it look like I'm going to the bathroom, like people do. Get up and slowly just instead of go left to the bathrooms, he took a right and went to the stage. You know what I mean? And then
or the security guards just weren't on their shit.
Yeah,
that's the only other thing you could say. Because again, look at if nobody's noticed, 2 weeks ago during a playoff game, basketball, NBA, a fan. They had those protesters that were actually jumping on the court
during the game.
Yes, during the game. And it happened, I believe, 2 weeks ago.
What type of protesters we're talking about?
I don't know. That's what they said. I don't remember the game, but I remember the incident. There was two security guards standing aside, and then they noticed these two sitting there weirdly. So one of the security guys actually was sitting down. I think it was like 6 seats from them. And as soon as I think it was third quarter broke, this person jumped up and immediately hurtled over the front row to get on stage. But this security guard was on his shit.
Yeah,
he took one step on the court and was tackled immediately.
Yeah, see, and that's and I'm sure it's like I said. I think this guy knew there probably was ushers around the audience, and he was just able to make it look like he was probably going to the bathroom or leaving, but he was able to get. And
again, if you see the video, he had a whole book bag and everything on him.
Yeah, I noticed that. It was
like and that's what I'm saying. I don't know what was in the book bag. I don't know if the gun was in his hand or if it was in his bag. But again, if you're going to something like this, don't you think they'll check your bag and pat you down?
I wonder. The biggest thing I'm wondering is.
He looked like he was ready to go.
Yeah, or
he was blacked out with a book bag and everything.
Cause or transgender thing or something that they talked about.
It could have been, again.
But we don't really know.
We don't really know, and don't forget that Chappelle has been, looked at funny from the whole Netflix deal.
Yeah, from the Netflix thing.
So again, maybe somebody knew Chappelle was going to be on stage and then attacked him over that. We don't know. We don't have any specifics. I'm just spitballing here, going off the top of my head. You know, we all know that Chappelle was, you know, going through that whole Netflix thing with the racial and.
I think you know, give it a few more days, and you know that'll be released on the reasons why.
Well, I mean, like I said, that guy's arm was facing the wrong way. I hope he did it for a good reason, because he definitely got his. He definitely got what it came to him.
Yeah, and I think, you know, with today the way things are going with so much controversy.
Yes.
You know, I see these things happening more, and right now it's kind of in our eye line because it's happening with comedians on stage, but it's going to start happening with other things, like you said, sports. What if happens if it starts at political rallies? You know, there's all kinds of things that people want to get
it
their
can go
point
so
across.
bad every which way you look at it.
So people are just losing their self-respect for one, and are not taking respect for anything else because they want their point to be number one.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, and you know, like this guy, it seems to me that it might have been a personal thing.
That's what that's the only thing I could think of. You know, it was for reasons unknown, but obviously specific to this one person. I mean, again, you know, if you're gonna do something like that on TV, on stage, or whatever it has, you gotta know the precautions. I mean, the repercussions that you're gonna get from doing this.
Yeah. Well, think about this. Put everything aside. Luckily, Dave didn't get hurt.
Yes.
Could you imagine if he was actually stabbed?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want everybody to know that it's serious
problem,
because he had a weapon, and how did he get this weapon so close to a famous comedian? And what was his intentions? It's all up in the air right now. But I just want everybody to know, back when me and RC were young, man, when we went to comedy shows, that's what it was about. And now I'm feeling with, you know, people are getting way too sensitive.
It's getting
way too sensitive.
It's ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous.
And comedy is you know, the comedy is the way of life. People laughing and having a good time only makes you live longer.
Yeah, and it's for the benefit of everybody. And if you don't like
don't go.
what they're saying, then don't go. And I can't stand people who do that.
Yes, if you have any percent in your mind saying, man, he might make fun of me and I can't take that, don't go.
Or you might bring this situation up. Or this type
because 50% of the time he's gonna point you out and say something funny to get a crowd reaction like he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
it's his
job. They paid him.
They pay him to make the people that come there laugh, and they do it at any cost because they're comedians.
Yeah, and that's what I can't stand.
Going on forever.
Is people who do that. They go there, don't want to be picked on. They don't want hurt their feelings. They don't want them to talk about certain topics. You know what I mean? So why is it okay if everybody in the room is okay with it? Understanding that they're jokes.
Do your research.
They're not real.
Like RC said, know what comedian you're going to see.
Yeah.
You know, if it's Chris Rock or Chappelle, you know he might come at you and say, like Martin, like when back in the day, you know he was going to come at you and say nothing. Like Kevin Hart. You know if you're going to go watch Kevin Hart, you're just going to ball laugh and he's not going to come at you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But there's a comedian out there, Andrew Schultz. He's the one that does a lot of crowd work too. Yeah. And he's talking about people all the time. So I mean, you got to kind of know who you're going to go see.
Yeah.
You know, I was taken on a date there. I didn't know. Well, how about you find out a little bit before you go instead of just making excuses to behave like that.
Yeah. I mean, or just suck it up. Basically, simple as that. Suck it up. It's gonna be there for about 5-10 minutes, and then he's gonna move on to the next one, and nobody's gonna remember you were even there.
It's just so many people these days get their feelings hurt over so many things. They get their butt cheeks
a little tender,
and it's changing our culture and it's also making the people. Like back in our day when we were growing up, we
a little bullying went a long way.
Trash each other.
Yeah, a little bullying back when we were young, it gave you character.
Yeah, but now if you meet someone and you see him in the store, or you don't know someone and you say the wrong pronoun, it's a whole big issue.
Or when I was young, if I was out of line, I'd get my butt touched a lot, meaning smacked around a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? My parents were, hey, let's keep you in a straight line. Nowadays, some parents can't even control their young ones.
And you know what it is? I think it's because, and I'm not saying hitting is the absolute answer.
No, it's
or
not.
Even an answer at all. But the parents were tougher
Yes.
And now the parents these days are getting softer and softer with their children.
The kids are actually doing
protecting
whatever
them
they
from
want.
everything. So when they grow up, or even in their childhood, they feel like they can't be in trouble, or they feel like that no one should be able to hurt their feelings.
Yeah, and like you said, now people can't go anywhere, and if you get made fun of, it's a big issue. And you know, now I can actually see comedians being worried because one, you know, now they fear getting attacked on stage if they say something wrong. So why would you even want to? Yeah, why would you even want to go on stage? And what they can be considered being bullies.
Yeah,
now, I mean, if you're sitting there on the stand, I'm sitting there and say something to make fun of you, I can be considered a bully. Oh, you know, and then the whole it just makes a mess of everything.
And something like that. You know, which makes sense. They could be considered bullies at some point. Something like that will be perpetuated by the media. It'll be perpetuated.
Of course it will.
But
all it takes is one person to stand up and say, he's a bully. And then for whoever comedian to get backlash for what? For him doing his job. That's like you said. That's the biggest thing. Everybody knows since the beginning of time. Comedians are there to
keep your hurt feelings at home. Make
fun of people, and that's how they make a living. Now you're taking something away from them making money. I mean, it's their job description. It just really is. And like we said before, know who you're going to see. That's it. Know who you're going to see. Know if you want to be in that predicament or not.
What if this happens to be like, you know, there's people out there who, imagine this happening to you in the grocery line. Imagine we're having a conversation in the grocery line, and you know how sometimes people overhear your conversation. You're talking about something. Let's say you're not being derogatory, you're just having a conversation with someone, and you happen to say something that someone doesn't like. You know, and these people jump up and start yelling at you.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the world has gotten.
You know, so it's like, you're not in my conversation, so why are you worried about what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. You see this now. You see this now everywhere, where somebody will just put their 2 cents in.
Yeah, and they feel like their opinion matters, but your opinion doesn't matter.
It matters to you. Believe me, it matters to you. But you have to make sure everybody else is on the same page. If not, don't put your 2 cents in. There's no reason. Like
Keep yourself out of it.
There's no reason to butt into anybody's opinions or naysay. They let them be what they be. Let them think what they think.
That's what Twitter's for.
Like your mother says, it takes 2 to tango.
It does.
Don't be the second idiot to fight back with the first.
And if you feel like you have to be that kind of person, then go to Twitter.
Yeah.
Or Instagram. That's for. It's for that.
Yes.
If people interjecting.
Go ahead. Say what you want now. Thanks. Yeah. Hey, go ahead. Say whatever you want on Twitter now.
Because you know what the problem is that some of these people who have this issue, when you go out and like, well, sir, I don't like what you're saying, or this and that, you know, they haven't been punched in the mouth. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying right away
it shouldn't come to violence, but that's what it is.
But if someone comes up to me and starts screaming at me or something for some ridiculously stupid, you know, thing that I said or did, you know, it's going to stand up and say, oh, okay. You know, they need to realize, like, I was shopping the other day, and this lady was ridiculous on the line. She was doing her things, and the cashier, she yelled at the cashier. She said, you know, why are you slamming my items? And all she was doing was taking them and sliding them, pushing them down to the bag. And she started cursing at her.
See,
like she was slamming.
What
is the point? Like, what were you trying to do? And the kid was a young kid.
Yeah, they always are.
She's a middle-aged woman.
Everybody knows if they're at the supermarket, those cashiers are all young kids.
They're all young kids.
Yeah.
And this lady was, I want to say, I don't know, maybe in her 40s, with a filthy mouth on her.
I just feel like people like that, they just go out to
They're miserable people. Their lives are miserable,
and they want to make everybody around them miserable.
That's exactly right.
I mean, if the kids, I don't understand that. And first off, if somebody is, granted, if they are slamming your products, you say it. Hey, listen, can you not slam that?
Yeah, she called her a bitch. I mean, all kinds of things.
Sometimes they go, as you know, like Drake said, sometimes they go 0 to 100 real quick. And everybody knows somebody like that.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what the sad part is? That, and this kid took it well. You know, she apologized. She apologized. She didn't even have to apologize. She didn't do anything wrong. But imagine she said something back to this girl. she would have lost her job.
That's what I'm saying. But that's
But
the
if you
fear
were
they
in the
have.
and I think that's why people do things like that, because
They wanna
she's
egg
a
'em on.
commercial- Yeah, and she's behind the counter knowing that she's not going to be able to do anything. But would you do that to somebody out in the parking lot? More than likely you won't, because you get your teeth knocked out.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's a good point, because now you're looking at the kid at the at the register. He's only thinking, man, I don't want to lose my job.
Precisely.
I'm on camera. I don't want anything going wrong happening. So he sits there and takes it. And this entitled, whatever she is,
it looked like
thinks
she
now
crawled out
she
from
could
under a rock.
Yes, thinks she could just talk to anybody like
Yeah,
that,
it's
because
ridiculous.
the person behind the register is not going to fight back.
No, they're not going to, because
and it's great. That's what's great about it, because they won't. I'll bet you $1,000 will not go out to a park or a parking lot,
Not at all.
or a basketball,
or even somebody their own age.
yes, and say that in the street.
Yeah.
And that's what it is too. That's
There's a
they
lot
call
of that.
they call I call that a bitch, because
No,
not
yeah.
the female. I call it it's a bitch move.
Being a bitch,
Meaning
yeah.
you know that person that you are attacking can't fight back.
Can't fight. And that's
So you go
why a lot of
harder
them
on
do
it.
it. And
Right,
I
I
think,
mean-
and that kind of stuff happens all the time in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But it's usually situations like that where the person who's attacking knows the person they're attacking can't do anything about it.
Yeah. So like you said,
So they're all big and tough.
Yeah.
You know?
So Chappelle, obviously, he protected himself. Security guards came
Yeah,
on.
he didn't have to.
And
Well, it happened fast. After he
it
got
did, it
tackled,
did
they
fast.
got him away.
Yeah, fast.
So Dave and him weren't just rolling around and punching each other on stage.
Yeah.
And I think at that point, when someone comes and tackles you, trying to hurt you, you have every right to defend yourself.
And I enjoy the fact that you had other actors there helping them.
Yes.
They were on Chappelle's side, because obviously, like I said, this whole thing just opened up a can of worms for these comedians who are just trying to make a living and do what they've been doing their whole lives. It's just what it is. But I mean, I would like to hear what you guys think about the whole situation. I mean, do you think this should happen more? Do you think these comedians need more security?
Yeah.
Now, are we going to go to the days where 12 security guards right in the front row, sitting down, making sure nothing happens? I mean, it shouldn't get to that.
No.
But for
But you know what?
the comedians' safety, let it be.
Well, we want everybody to be safe, but it's going to affect the audience, because who's going to pay for security? Your tickets are going to go up higher.
Yeah, but again, you know,
what I mean?
stupid people like this that ruin it for everybody
Yeah, and
else.
that's how it's always been, and so it will always be like that.
There's always that one idiot that ruins it for everybody else.
Because
as the
you
world
can't
knows.
stop things like, certain things from happening, because they're just off the cuff, you know what I mean? But, when, these situations like this start to get, become more and more common,
And
I think it's a problem.
And just let's look at the most terrible side of what it can happen. What if these comedians start holding? What if they start carrying weapons now because they're scared of their safety? I wouldn't be mad if they did.
No, I wouldn't
because
be
you're
mad if they
getting
did.
attacked by people with knives and stuff. I wouldn't be mad if
I
you
mean,
did,
obviously
but-
it'd have to be in, obviously wherever they are, or whatever state they're in.
Oh, obviously, but you
But
know,
it's a possibility.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. yeah.
But I think if that guy and Dave were on the stage and he started they were just those two for a few moments, actually fighting. Do you know how much backlash Dave would have got for probably beating that guy up?
Well, he has to. I mean, I don't think so.
Which is ridiculous, because he's defending himself.
He's defending himself. I think everybody would side with Dave Chappelle on that.
You would think so.
Yeah.
You would, and I think the people would, but the
Yeah.
media has to twist it to their.
Oh yeah, of course.
to their
Somebody will
sick
say,
agenda.
"Oh, he had it coming."
Yeah.
Because of what had happened with the whole Netflix
That's how they
thing,
always
but
gonna do it.
that's not for me to say. But it's an interesting conversation, and that's
Yeah.
what we're here for. Interesting conversation.
We're going to keep our eye on it, because I know there's some.
Yeah, we'll
some more
wait to
stuff's gonna
see
come out.
what comes out. Why they'll come out with saying he was a part of some group, or you know, he was offended by the whole Netflix thing. We'll wait and see, and we'll keep you updated. But
Yeah.
as of for this weekend, if everybody please remember, this Sunday is Mother's Day.
Sunday,
Do not forget
Monday.
Sunday, Mother's Day. Do not forget the flowers. Do not
Yes.
forget the cards. Please, everybody,
Big
if you're
day.
watching, Mother's
big
Day.
day.
Huge day. Father's Day, it's crap. Not so much.
Big
Mother's
day.
Day, huge day. All right, guys. So if you love the content, if you even like it, hit the button, share, subscribe. I'd like to hear from you. Comment if you guys get a chance.
Spread it around.
And happy Mother's Day to all the incredible mothers out there. Mine, my fiance, RC's wife.
My wife.
Happy Mother's Day to all of you. And anything else?
That's it, man.
All right, guys. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next time. I'll see you when I see you.
See you later.